I once roamed Gielinor as a collector of trophies, chasing pets and collection logs on my mane, standing among the few who had completed the Grandmaster tier of combat achievements. But those days have faded into memory. That account is now retired and enjoying its time deep in the underground city of Pcote, mining calcified rocks in the quiet pursuit of 200 mil XP. Why? Well, numbers must go up. With that project stretching years into the horizon, I turned my gaze elsewhere, to the austere path of an Ironman. One goal burned in my mind, to earn a BOFA and unlock all of the endgame content that lies beyond. Yet, I had not foreseen the trials ahead, the endless grind, the creeping madness of drought, nor the simmering hatred I developed for Hunlef. In the end, I broke. I fled from the Gauntlet's torment and sought refuge in the comfort of routine. I buried myself in training, anything to drown out the memory of my failure. I mastered skill after skill, each a hollow victory. I told myself I was progressing, but deep down I knew the truth. I was only running. And as I got closer to the elusive escape, my burning desire for a BOFA ignited anew, stronger than ever. But this time, I was ready. I defeated the Royal Titans and claimed their sacred prayer scrolls, unleashing their potential. Then, I returned to the Gauntlet to claim the vengeance I had long delayed. My body, tempered by tireless training, was moving with purpose. My mind, once scattered and uncertain, was sharpened into a single point of resolve. So I began the grind again, from the first light of dawn until the world felt silent at night, day after day. The chest blurred together into an endless procession. I stopped counting, stopped caring, barely glancing at their content, until I heard it, the jingle.
Collection log slot completed.
Bon matin, I'm Pcote. After completing the CG grind and basically unlocking the rest of the game, I felt like sharing my progress through some sort of video diary. This series will document my PVM journey beyond CG, as I grow from a broke Team Ironman all the way to an unstoppable powerhouse. You can expect a lot of grinding, gear upgrades, combat achievements, clan events, and stats, because numbers are cool. But before diving into the content, I'll just take a minute to show you where we are starting from. The first piece of gear I rushed on this account was actually the Dragon Warhammer, using a rune crossbow and dropping it slightly underrate at 2541 Shaman. Then, armed with a Dragon Scimitar and a Warhammer, my next destination was the Theatre of Blood, where I lost my hardcore status after 40 completions. Still, I kept grinding until about 100 KC, leaving with 2 pieces of Justiciar armor. I then sent a few chambers, obtaining a Kodai wand and 2 arcane prayer scrolls. Later, I followed some clannies to Tombs of Pcote, stealing a Fang and a Lightbearer from right under their nose. My best in slot at the time being a regular Curious Partisan and a Niben Staff. Through Slayer, I then completed the Royal Titans in under 300 KC and spooned the fuck out of demonic areas, obtaining all 4 Zenites in only 2 Black Demon tasks. Through that, I went slightly overrate for the Basilisk Jaw, obtaining it at 1300 and 12 kills. That's when I finally dropped the Enhanced Weapon Seed. I immediately added to Inferno for a one and done, and came back later on task. The very next day, I already had obtained Bandust assets from General Grar. I might have been dry on the only item I cared for, but it definitely was balanced out by my luck elsewhere. This brings us to today, with myself working on the Vorkat Slayer task. I have yet to obtain the Ava's Assemblers, dropping bolts on the ground like there's no tomorrow. So my first goal is the Vorkat head, but we might as well do some combat achievements while I'm here. Vorkat is a simple boss, so let's quickly go over its mechanics. It can attack with all 3 combat styles, melee, magic, and range. However, its Dragon Breath is so strong that they need to camp protect from magic prayer at all time, in addition to wielding an anti-dragon shield and donning super anti-fire potions. That's why I'm using a melee setup, offering good defensive bonuses against both melee and ranged attacks. Beyond its basic attacks, Pcote can throw venomous fire, forcing me to drink 2 doses of anti-poison every time to counteract it. Its corrupting fire just turns off my active prayers until I re-enable them again. Finally, it can launch a deadly fireball in the air, which will deal up to 121 damage when landing in a 3x3 area. The player must dodge it to survive by moving at least 2 tiles away. Every 7th attack will be one of 2 specials. For the first one, a white fire will freeze the player in place, dropping a zombified spawn at a random location. It will then crawl towards the player and explode upon reaching them, dealing up to 60 damage. It can be negated by casting Crumble Undead on the spawn quickly enough. The second special is called Rapid Fire, where Pcote spits acid randomly all over the area, and then keeps spitting at the player's location every single tick, forcing them to move or take up to 41 damage every tick. It is still possible to attack Pcote during that time, as long as the player keeps on moving. However, player dealt damage is off during that phase, making it an ideal moment to heal instead. Anyway, let's get some CAs done. The first one requires losing no prayer point during the fight. I'm already 1 tick flicking for my regular kills, so I just need to do it perfectly for once. I simply have to remember to turn off my prayer before dodging the... Oh, well, that's embarrassing. Alright then, attempt number 2. And I am actually rewarded with my first Pcote head at 32 KC. For the next CA, I can only use melee weapons. It usually fails because I swap to the Void Mace to kill the zombified spawn, but I am allowed to manual cast, and it will still be a guaranteed one-shot. It would help if my fingers were actually on my F keys though. The Wook's Walk is usually done with a blowpipe, but the best I got is Steel Darts. I just need to find their range and start shooting as Pcote spits. I actually can't believe I landed 2 of those shitty darts in full melee gear. To kill the zombified spawn without magic, I just have to bring out the bow file. I worked hard enough for it, I gotta use it. Well, that was easy. It basically has no defense at all. 50 KC for the kill count task and the guaranteed Pcote head. Head number 3 coming in, just 3 KC later. The other combat achievements are currently not worth going for. The speedrun is not very realistic without a Dragon Hunter or a spec weapon, and similarly, I don't see myself doing any long trip without Serp Helm, Super Anti-Fire, or Anti-Venom, so I won't immediately be punching any dragon to death, as Shremnix intended. And this is the Slayer task completed, ending at 58 Pcote kills. Great loot, as always. Time to claim the Assembler from Ava. Its +2 range strength does not often translate to a higher max hit, but at least I'll be wasting less ammunition in the future. I will be keeping the other 2 heads to put them on the ranging cape and on the eventual max cape, as they get consumed in the process. Gargoyles. I will do it. They got superiors for the imbued hurt chance. They're pretty AFK and they have good enough loot to be buttered. However, I'm not planning on touching the Grotesque Guardian boss until I get a Noxious Halberd. The boss doesn't drop any useful gear anyway, so I just bring my max wrenching gear and I safe spot them here once they aggro. No superior this task, but many shiny things. Black Dragons. Always a quick task and banking some prayer XP at the same time. Elves. You. Straight to Aya skipping. I just received a spider task from Aya, so so I wanted to try and see if Spindale was viable or not with my current gear. For this first trip, I decided against bringing any risk. Not so surprisingly, the kills were very slow, averaging close to 2 minutes each. I pulled up the DPS calculator for reference. Swapping only the zombie axe for Vigorous Chain Mace would actually increase my DPS by over 60%. And if I bring just a little risk, that could jump much higher. That is so nasty that I simply cannot justify grinding this boss without a wilderness weapon. This means that in the near future, we'll have a wilderness slayer grind on our hands. Oh wow, now that is juicy. If I ever need more secondaries to make restores, to hell with the Tower of Life, I'm coming back here instead. 20 KC combat achievement? I certainly feel like a better player after that. Wrapping up the task at 29 KC with pretty decent loot. Ooh, a Duke task. Normally, I would have loved to take a full 50 Duke task, but right now I'm running out of charges with Maraclite, so I simply can't really afford to grind Duke till I get an Ambolite with unlimited charges. Despite that, I still want to try out the quality of life changes they introduced recently, so let's try out 10 KC with a zombie axe and a whip. For most of the fight, the Duke attacks every 5 ticks, and then speeds up to 4 ticks during its enrage phase, when pushed beneath 25% HP. This forces me to either match its attack speed or lose ticks and DPS, so I'm using a zombie axe at first, and then swapping to a whip to finish it. My damage output is much better than I expected, definitely thanks to the Slayer help, obviously. I might go for the full 50 KC task next time. As for combat achievements, I will start with Cold Feet, which requires me to do a perfect kill without running. It's easy enough, I just need to already be on the right tile when Duke throws acid balls. I really don't want to talk about it. Nice, got the frozen tablet at 13 KC. It unlocks the Ring of Shadow TP, close to both Muspa and Duke Cecilus. Abyssal Demons. This is a great burst task, but getting shuffled around like a ragdoll is not quite enjoyable, so let's try and get a teleport incoming scroll. This will prevent Abyssal Demons and Elder Chaos Druids from teleporting me ever again. Honestly, it's probably a waste of time, but hey, a clog is a clog. The scroll itself is a 1 in 20k from zombie parents. However, they also drop keys at a rate in 1 in 24, which can then be used to open a locker that has another 1 in 275 chance to contain the scroll. Taking all of this into account, I can expect a scroll in about 5k kills if I'm using every key dropped. Something I dislike about this place, other than the bots ragging every non-total world, is the absolute lack of counterplay when getting Pcote. You are forced to camp mage protection, as you are always under attack by multiple Chaos Druids. You are always teleblocked by them as well, and they don't care about your teleblock immunity. They preemptively TB you again. When you try to run, you often get teleported back by one of the druids, and this can happen even if you are frozen. Oh, and obviously, it's a multi-combat area as well, so if there's a team of Pop-Tarts who want to bully you, good luck surviving. This place just reinforces the prey versus predator aspect of the wilderness. It simply never is a fair fight. Sorry about the rant, had to get it out. If you're lucky, they will splash a few ice barrage, giving you a chance to escape from the death trap, and even allowing you to protect against their attacks. All of the zombie pirates drops are amazing. All kibbles, cannonballs, blighted supplies, blood, death, and chaos runes. Even crafting and smithing supplies. That's why it's not too scary to be dry here, despite the pretty low drop rate. All of those restores will go a long way during the Revenant and Voidwaker grind. I am using the keys as I get them, since it's more likely to get the scrolls from the locker than a pirate. Key number 200. Never lucky. Radiator Glory from a Genie lamp. Somehow.
Collection log slot completed.
No, I got baited. That's the wrong scroll. 5,000 zombie pirates. We are officially over drop rate. I'm probably averaging about 300 kills per hour, which adds up to over 16 hours. I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to think this was a very stupid idea. It will also be a much faster grind with a Venator. Maybe that's what I should be going for first. My to-do list just keeps growing. You know what? I already unlocked the TP, let's just try a few mispa, see how it goes. Okay, so I realized that I can't even do mispa yet because my bank is completely full, so I won't even have space for the loot. It's also a giant mess right now, so I'm gonna give it a big scrubbing. I'll see you in a bit.
Javelin heads. Into javelins.
Talismans, disgusting.
Outfits. Stored away.
Eggs. Nests. More nests. Seeds.
Elemental orbs to battle staves.
Tattered pages. In search of knowledge. Completed.
Unicorn horns. Crushed.
And sold heads, freed from their pain.
Super compost into ultra. Osidious blueprint consumed.
Salves, strung and enchanted.
Weapon poison into DDS.
Infernal ashes offered to the dark gods.
Unfinished potions, finished.
Junk to the floor.
More junk to the floor too.
Mithril and adamant gear to the crucible.
Smithing gloves unlocked. 85 smithing. Smithing boots unlocked. 86 smithing. We are starting this all can run session with 86 million GP. Fun fact. Whenever you cast Eye Alt before crossing an obstacle, the agility animation is actually overwritten by the spell animation, leading to some janky results. Tuning in for 100 mil GP stack. It took almost 90 minutes, but we just made 20 million GP from this all can run session. That concludes the bank cleaning montage. We now have over 100 free spaces. Now let's try some Muspa, as I promised. Since we might be stuck here for a while, I'll give you an overview of the fight. The Phantom Muspa has two base states, the green range one and the brown melee one. While green, Muspa will mostly use range attack that do small chip damage, and the occasional mage corruption attack which can deal up to 72 damage and drain prey over time. It is essential to use protection against it. While brown, Muspa will keep chasing the player in order to land melee attacks. Melee protection prayer will only null the damage if Muspa is moving while attacking, allowing the player to avoid all damage when done correctly. Its range defense is greatly increased while in that state, making magic more efficient against it. Whenever Muspa changes state, a spike will sprout onto the player and more will appear next to existing spikes, requiring careful positioning. During the fight, Muspa will do two special attacks in a random order. The first one causes some spike to start chasing the player at a very slow speed, stunning them and dealing a small amount of damage. For the second special, Muspa will teleport around the room, spawning trails of lightning clouds everywhere. These can be dodged by standing on a safe spot. When its HP drops below 127, it teleports to the middle of the room and releases a massive shockwave, which can only be blocked by previously spawned spikes. Muspa will then enter the prayer shield phase. While it still wrenches and mages the player, stealing hit points, the player must drain its prayer using any means necessary, including enchanted sapphire bolts and the smite prayer. Upon depleting the shield, Muspa will do its last stand, throwing attacks faster than before, until it is killed. My first kill was very long, lasting 4 minutes 13. I only realized why later, when editing the footage. I had a freaking Slayer helm on, despite not being on task. I was therefore missing all of the accuracy and damage increase from the crystal helm. Painfully unaware of the Slayer helm situation, I tackled a few combat tasks. I drained Muspa's prayer shield in 3 different ways, using the Greater Corruption spell, Enchanted Sapphire Bolts, and Smite for versatile drainer. And I managed a perfect kill for the walled trait Great Roussier. For the next one, I had to first surround Muspa with spikes before killing it. I just had to wait an extra minute before giving the finishing blow, allowing the spikes to propagate by themselves. Since the kills were pretty slow, I wanted to try bringing a few mage switches for the melee phase, as Muspa got air weakness. But even with the Twin Flame staff, the DPS did not feel much better, especially because I could not bring Trolls and Greater Corruption anymore. Trolls are constant 0.6 DPS increase, while the Greater Corruption spell can drain 16% of the shield over time during the fight's lowest phase. So I went back to range only, this time with a proper Crystal Helm. My next goal was Muspa Manipulator, a perfect kill, without ever running, and ending with Muspa surrounded by spikes. To achieve this, I'm relying on the melee step back method I described earlier. It was actually considered a bug on release, Jagex expecting us to freeze Muspa instead. A week after removing it, they ended up putting the step back method back into the game, as the community just loved it. There we go. A few KC later, I managed to spoon my first Venator shard at 20 KC. 5 of them are needed in order to create the Venator bow we are aiming for. I decided to take a small break from Muspa to unlock the Construction Cape, which will save me a few seconds every time I need to get to my POH on a different spellbook. It will also allow me to pull between Muspa kills, since the respawn timer is so long anyway. All stabs will work instead, but since I'm planning on maxing anyway, might as well get the cape now. 98 construction, only a few hundred contracts left. Construction achieved! My best nest rowing friend, Jason Bank, is even making an apparition for the occasion. That's, in my opinion, the best skill cape unlocked. And I only have 8 skills left to max. The salamander only task did not go well. First of all, the DPS during the melee and smite phases was just abysmal, sometimes hitting 10 zeros in a row. On the first attempt, I did my usual strategy of spawning a few spikes in the middle to protect from the shockwave. However, during the last phase, the boss keeps standing in the middle and I need to be in melee range to hit it with the salamander. So there was just no way of finishing the kill at that point. I had fucked up. On the next attempt, I didn't realize that my Ring of Suffering was recoiling damage, effectively failing the task as soon as the boss attacked me. So I did the whole 7-minute kill, only to read the chat after, understanding that it did not work. The third attempt went well, but I got very scared at the end of getting DPS checked by the spikes spawning all around Muspa. I was going back and forth trying to spawn them away. That specific maneuver was especially ineffective, but I still got the task done in the end. And closing out the 50 KC task. And that will do it for today's video. I'm still new to content creation, so please let me know in the comments how I can improve and what you enjoy or not about this format. Most of my playtime this episode was actually spent figuring out how to edit the footage, what is even audio mastering, and fighting with new software. So expect much more grinding in the future, and subscribe if you want to see more.